Hey Ryan, what are you doing out here this morning?
We are doing our first water test on Seamus's property here. We got lots of pressure, lots of water. I'm opening this valve. It's probably gonna get real wet with all the air pressure.
And then, when did you guys put these in?
We completed 2 days ago.
So explain for the folks, where does this water come from? What is this water?
This is the SRP flood irrigation. It comes all the way from the Colorado River.
And it's part of a decades old kind of aqueduct system.
Correct. Some of the systems were built by the Indians hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago that are still intact and protected those waterways.
Because their ability to grade the land was so good.
Correct.
Back then, the Hohokam, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
One side first.
So Ryan, how much water is going to come out of here?
A lot, more we could ever use.
Is it going to flood this entire property?
It will.
For about how many hours?
I ordered 4 hours today for a test.
For 4 hours.
Since we don't have any ground cover, it's going to get pretty swampy out here.
Right. It's river water, and it's going to flood your entire property for 4 or 5 hours today. It's got to be expensive, right? A few $100 a day?
No, it's actually like $5 a day, if that. It's
Like less than that?
yeah,
Like
it's
$1
free.
a day?
It's free.
Yeah.
It's like $100 a year.
So we got this berm around the pond to block the water, hopefully.
We got the berm to block the water, and then I want to see how the grading came out, like how
Yeah.
effective that's going to be, and where it's going to flow and get deep, and what
Because
have
this
you.
water has to go all over there, right? Behind
Yeah.
you, everywhere.
It's got a little over an acre to cover.
And so when you guys graded the property, means you level it out for this water.
Smooth it out. And then once this dries out, in about 5-6 days later this week, we're actually going to start covering this piece of the property with wood chips.
What do you think, Cowboy? Is it going to plan?
Going to plan. We got good water pressure, which is good. Now we just got to see how it all flows. If there's any areas we need to correct.
You know, this scene right here with the lighting makes it look like Clint Eastwood.
I like it.
So Ryan, we're walking to where the water comes into the property.
Yes.
And you said it travels down like a half-a-mile channel.
Yeah, half a mile. SRP will open the valve from there. And it takes about an hour and a half to get to my property.
Wow.
The system will pressurize first.
And then if we stop right here, this is one of the bubblers. And again, tell us, these hadn't been on in quite a long time.
Yeah, at least
you-
12 years, probably 7 years on this side, 12 years on the front half of the property.
So you had to prep this
Correct.
to get it ready.
Grading, berming, trenching for 12-inch water lines.
Well, show us what you did down there at the
Sure.
origin point. This tool, what are you doing with this tool?
So they call it an irrigation key. It's a pretty easy key that's made. It opens and closes these valves.
So you can choose how much pressure comes and goes.
Correct. Today we've got what they call a 75-inch head. So SRP will open up the main line 75 inches, and that'll determine the volume of water that's coming through and the amount of pressure in this system. We've ran water, this is now a third time we've ran water, and I always call it a test because it's about better understanding how much head pressure to bring into the property, and then how to open up the valves so that everything gets enough water without overpowering the property.
Because you don't want it to run out of your property into your neighbors.
Correct. So on this side, we laid in 3 feet of wood chips first, then brought the native soil back over the top of it.
All the grass we're seeing here was native soil, but that was dug down. Is that correct?
Correct.
3 feet of wood chips.
3 foot of wood chips. Sort of like a lasagna sandwich. So as the ground has began to settle, I do have a fair amount of low spots that need to be corrected. The far end of the property is significantly lower than the higher end of the property. You want the water to go uphill versus downhill. Then we brought in 100 tons of golf course grade compost or ground cover, laid that an inch thick, and then laid down the seed.
Wow. Where's this coming in from?
This water here goes underneath this roadway. All this infrastructure here was built to help alleviate leaves, any seed coming down. As you can see, the water coming in is very, very clean.
I mean, it looks clear. Like, I do a lot of backpacking in Arizona, and this looks like a natural waterway.
It does.
But tell us, this waterway that goes all the way down the stretch we're looking at right now, there's no cement there. That's just native dirt it's
Correct.
flowing over.
Correct.
And when SRP turns off your flood irrigation in a couple hours, that will run dry again?
It will run dry. Once they turn it off, I'll get another hour and a half or so of water coming down.
Because it takes that long for it to
Correct.
make that trip.
Correct.
And when you first got the property, what was the condition of this whole aqueduct here?
It was filled with weeds and dirt and trees and garbage. It's been dry for years and years and years and years. It took us a couple days to get it cleaned out.
Like half a mile down.
Half a mile down.
Wow. It looks pristine now. You look like you've done this before. I know you say you haven't, but it looks pretty legit.
I have not. It's an experiment, a huge learning lesson. Fortunately, I'm not afraid to reach out and ask for help.
And you're a methodical thinking kind of guy, so
I like to think so.
I think so. You've thought this out. So, Mr. Seamus,
Yes, sir.
what are you doing out here today?
Well, the first order of business is we're going to spread the pond liner. And while I'm waiting to do that, I'm going to spread out all this mulch that Ryan is moving over here.
What's your thought? You got the pond behind you that we showed in the first update, and now the second update here, you put all these wood chips here, so what's your thought?
Well, we want to improve the health of the soil. The quickest way to do that is to pile mulch on top. So the flood irrigation will come all the way back here. So this should be good for about a 4 to 6 month supply. The water will soak underneath the mulch and start to rot and bring in the worms and all that business. There are going to be trees planted back here. I don't know where exactly yet. And there's also going to be inventory on top of this.
Sure.
So that's why I'm kind of a hurry to get this done, because spring is here and yeah, time's slipping away.
Here comes another load of dirt here, or of wood chips, excuse me, wood chips. I wish I had that tractor when building Longevity Gardens my yard. That would have saved my back a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely comes in handy. One thing I've noticed out here is that it's heavy clay and the soil doesn't drain. So the water will sit on top for up to a week, which is not good.
Because it's been dry for so long.
Yeah, it's compacted.
That'll improve as the wood chips get on here.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get the flood irrigation less frequently because it doesn't drain as quick. 2, I'm thinking that maybe with all the mulch on top, that the mulch will soak up a bunch of the water, so it'll dry out a little quicker. Because we don't want just a big mud pit. It's gonna be a little bit of an experiment. I've never actually planted in clay or worked with it. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a process.
You were like, wow, as high as the berm. I'm like, all right. Is that what I said? Yeah. Oh.
Ryan, you just took 5 years of wheelbarrow and hand labor I've done in my yard, and you did it in like 20 minutes with that tractor.
I know. It's a very valuable resource. I've done the wheelbarrow thing, and it's only fun for about 20 minutes.
That's true.
Okay, so we got these guys to help us out today, which is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys more help than I have when I did my liner in my pond. And so we're gonna take the liner, spread it out. It's a 45-foot by 90-foot liner. We're gonna spread it out and tuck it in nice and neatly to the entire pond. We decided not to use an underlayment, and so if you're a pond expert, I know you're gonna be shaking your head, but the ground is so soft and so clay-like, we don't think we need it. We're gonna just have this liner, which is pretty heavy duty. Watch, I'm gonna break it my first step. It's so expensive, I'm always nervous to rip them, it's so expensive.
Yeah, I think there should be, you also were wigging out about $8 a pellet.
No, it's okay for $8.
We'll be the fluffers.
Yeah, fluffers.
All right.
Can we pick up one side as you press down?
That's the plan, Stan.
Hey, Seamus. Good size choice.
I get that a lot.
What do you think? In 10 minutes, your pond changed radically.
Yeah.
You chose the perfect size, by the way.
Well, you know.
You did. The depth, the length, the width. I think it's good.
Well, I added on a little extra just to be safe.
Smart.
It's like you don't want to fool around and try to skimp on $100. Just be done with it.
So what do you think? What's your opinion so far? Can you see it?
Yeah, actually, it looks bigger
With the liner?
with the liner. Because now there's some, you can see the contours and what have you.
And then check it out, we dug this today. Come on over. So now we have the fish cave dug, so you gotta go find an awesome piece of flagstone and then lay it on the top of that. And that way the fish can go underneath and they'll spawn and breed and have babies underneath there.
Well, that's the goal. That's the whole point. Is to,
You become a fish breeder?
yes, exactly.
I don't think so. All right, here's fish cave number 3. And my man Martin over here has got fish cave number 4. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem.
Happy to help.
Thanks for bringing the little guys. So there's the next significant step. And this is like painting a room. When you paint the walls of a room where you put carpeting in, it looks so much different, and now the pond looks different. Ready to hold water. We need to find some flagstone. We need to get a lot of boulders. Some large feature boulders, some river rock, some cobble, and the feature boulders we're gonna have selected and positioned in a way where folks can walk in the pond, access the water, access the fish, and can interact with the water feature. So next time I see you guys, we'll have a bunch of boulders here, and we'll be starting to put the boulders in. This corner is gonna be the waterfall, the main waterfall, but Seamus wants to have 2 waterfalls. He and I climbed the Grand Canyon this last summer, and we went to Havasupai Falls, and they had the main Havasu Falls, which looks amazing. But they have the sub falls, the little falls next to Havasu, which looks really amazing in their own right. So we're gonna have a big waterfall here that oxygenates the water as it crashes down into the pond. But on the other side, directly diagonal from this waterfall, we're gonna have a second waterfall that's smaller, that's gonna create some movement on that side as well. So I think it's a really good idea, but that means 2 pumps. Hey, I'll see you here for the next update. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want YouTube to notify you when our 3rd update comes in. Go vegan and grow your food at home, and I'll see you guys back here at the Seamus Lake for the next progress report.